Stop! Before you go ahead and buy a brand new $150 main board or pay a technician to change your entire compressor, hold on. 90% of the time when a Hisense Inverter AC stops cooling, cuts off randomly, or throws a mysterious error code, the problem isn't a dead board. It's this tiny $5 piece of copper and plastic right here, the room temperature sensor. If you get this test wrong, you will waste money replacing parts that aren't even broken. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exact signs of a failing Hisense sensor and how to test it with a multimeter like an absolute pro. Quick favor before we jump in. If you want to master inverter AC troubleshooting and save hundreds on repair bills, hit that subscribe button right now. Dropping a quick like helps other techs and DIYers find this video. Done? Awesome, let's dive in. First, let's talk about how your Hisense unit acts when this sensor goes bad. The room temperature sensor acts as the brain's thermometer. It tells the main PCB how cold your room is, so the inverter compressor knows whether to ramp up, slow down, or shut off. When it fails, three major things happen. Let's break them down so you can spot them immediately. The room turns into an icebox, or worse, the evaporator coil starts icing over because the sensor incorrectly tells the board the room is still 30 degrees Celsius. The compressor kicks on for 2 minutes, then abruptly turns off without cooling the room at all. The PCB falsely thinks target temperature has been reached. Hisense units frequently trigger specific fault codes when sensor resistance goes out of bounds, commonly E4, EA, or 7 in one error indications. If you're noticing any of these, don't guess, test. Let's locate this sensor on the unit by opening the front panel. Slide out the dust filters. Right in front of the evaporator fins, you'll see two wires leading to a small black plastic teardrop bulb. Do not confuse this with the copper pipe sensor. The room temperature sensor is usually a black epoxy bulb suspended in front of the fins. Follow that wire back to the control board. Unplug the white 2-pin connector carefully by pressing the release tab, never yank the wires. Here's where the magic happens. Grab your digital multimeter and turn the dial to resistance, set to the 20K range. Standard Hisense room sensors are typically rated at 15,000 or 10,000 at 25 degrees Celsius. As the temperature goes up, the resistance reading should smoothly drop. Place your red and black probe tips into the tiny pinholes of the white terminal connector. At normal room temperature, we should see roughly 10K to 15K. Now watch what happens when I cup the sensor head tightly in my hand. Look at that. It's dropping steadily from 12.4K down to 9.8K. So, if your sensor shows a steady reading like that, does it mean your system is 100% fine? No. This is the exact trap that tricks technicians. Internal microcracks can expand only when cold, sending a false voltage spike back to the board that freezes the inverter circuit. How do you catch a sensor that lies? In part 2, I'm going to show you the ice water calibration stress test. Subscribe so you don't miss it.